Madrid. Hello, my friends, and welcome to continued coverage of GP Madrid live out of Spain. It's great to have your company as we explore these three formats in this Team Trios event. We are kicking things off here in style with Javier Dominguez facing off against Nils Gutierrez here. And both these players, of course, playing very similar strategies, Raf. They are both on Delver decks of different stripes here. We have Sultai Delver on the left and Grixis Delver on the right.
So in case you missed what happened on turn 1, Javier played a Delver of Secrets in the form of a proxy card.
Well, a checklist card.
A checklist card.
Checklist card. Force of Will is going to meet a young Pyromancer going to meet a Force of Will, which will then be introduced to a Daze. So young Peasy is going to enter the battlefield. And a ponder for Javier Dominguez. He has to find an answer. This threat's huge.
If Javier does not deal with the young Pyromancers quickly, it might just get out of hand. Because, well, this match does not resolve much on sorry. It's a lot about card advantage. If you get a little bit of advantage, you're going to be ahead.
It snowballs very, very quickly indeed. And young Pyromancer rewards any legacy player for playing the game plan that they want to play anyway. They want to cast instants and sorceries, cheap spells like Ponder, Brainstorm, Force of Will, Daze, what have you. Gataxian Probe, of course, one of the best ones. And gaining a 1/1 for each activation or each trigger from young Pyromancer is no joke, and it really stacks up very quickly, Raph.
So Force of Will already to get 1/1. So it's an attack for 3 plus a Wasteland.
And Dominguez, this could be lights out for him as he loses his only blue source. Oh,
no,
there we go. Off the top. Nice and timely rip here for him as we see a Brainstorm.
And Javier's strategy is relying on Liliana of the Veil, which is not so good against young Pyromancer.
Definitely not. Definitely not, as we see. Looks like a Force of Will and another blue card put on top here. So Dominguez maybe Brainstorm locking himself. He does have a Fatal Push in hand. If he can snap that off on that young Pyromancer, he could put himself back into it.
But it's a
Deathrite Shaman.
I think there's a Rainforest in his hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Misty Rainforest in hand? Okay, so he's not locked away.
Fatal Push.
All right. Must have misseen that card. As we see now young Pyromancer get in. And we see, again,
but
these...
Not much follow-up from Niels, so...
No, Gutierrez hasn't had too much to tango with here.
Pyromancer did not get out of hand.
Well, not just yet. 2 fetches for Gutierrez. And Legacy is a format of razor-thin edges, as we've said several times today. And this is what happens here. You know, drawing your third land sometimes in Legacy can mean that you're being flooded. Never really want to go too much above 4. Fatal Push on the... Oh, that's huge here, because that means the young Pyromancer is going to... That there's no fight over that Fatal Push, and that means young Pyromancer dies. And things are looking pretty ugly here for Gutierrez, as this Deathrite Shaman is poised to put Dominguez right back in this game.
Was the Force of Will on the first Deathrite Shaman the right play?
It's an age-old debate.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. Do you force the Deathrite Shaman? Is an age-old debate here. And now Liliana of the Veil, a great follow-up into an empty board especially. Both players going to discard. And Dominguez being hellbent, that suits him fine.
So +1.
Yep. Away goes a Volk here for Nils Gutierrez. Gataxian Probe, paying life, down to 17.
That's pretty much a Street Wraith here.
And the Elemental Token keeping Liliana down to 3. And Gutierrez now having to scrap together some kind of game plan with the little that he's got. 2 cards in hand, a fresh one from that Gataxian Probe. We'll see exactly what it is very shortly, I imagine. It's a Gurmag Angler. All right, here we go. That's very good indeed, because, of course, it is essentially Liliana proof with that 1/1 that's still sticking around. And Dominguez very, very short of ways to deal with a 5-mana, well, a 7-drop 5-mana card here.
Fatal Push should work.
Not quite.
It would.
No. Oh, sorry, because it would kill the Elemental. Yeah. Sorry, not on the Angler itself, though. No, you'd need Fatal Pull for that. Fatal Kick.
Abrupt Decay would work.
Again, not for the thing
one.
itself, but yes.
In that situation now.
But this is the strength of Gurmag Angler, is that there are so few answers that the Grixis
right.
and Salto decks play to it. Abrupt Decay, Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt, none of them work.
So plus a true name Nemesis, and was the last card in Neil's hand. So now I think both. No, yeah, just one.
All right.
I guess the small guy could have attacked as well, but then he would have blocked with
The Deathrite.
Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah.
But then Liliana would have died.
So Dominguez is going to go after that true name Nemesis, gain himself a little bit of extra life. So getting the most out of that Deathrite Shaman before it hits the bin. Fresh card off the top. Can he turn this Liliana into the card he needs it to be? Away goes the 1/1. It looks like Dominguez doesn't have too much to play with here. Oh, look at those lands. Beautiful. I love the way he's lined them up there.
And
Has a look at the Force of Will. So an actual blank piece of cardboard here for poor old Dominguez.
It's a wasteland.
Gurmag Angler gets busy, and Liliana the Veil goes.
Would you destroy land here with the Spell Pierce backup? Yep.
Looks like he's going to cut off green with that Bayou.
Since Neil's last card is a Spell Pierce, you want to get rid of your opponent's sources of mana.
And as we know, Dominguez is holding a 5-drop.
Yeah.
Doesn't do too much here.
Oh,
Tombstalker.
It's a 5/5. This is the flying version of the Angler.
Yeah, it's a nice one here. It's one of the only cards that can really tussle with the Gurmag Angler. And the question is here, does Dominguez block?
I think he does.
Okay, so a trade-off here. Both these creatures going off to Belize.
That was a good trade. So now they're facing each other with just lands and
ugly looks at each other. Yeah.
Whoever finds a brainstorm or a threat.
Let's see.
Like Javier is drawing he's drawing live because the land is good. Yeah, land makes the Force of Will castable.
Yep. Now Dominguez is holding an actual magic card and a Ponder off the top here.
It's good.
So Gutierrez.
That's not so good.
Can have a tricky time. Although this Ponder is not the best.
No. You can't keep the Brainstorm, but two of the cards are. But there's a fetch, so that's not bad.
So what Dominguez can do now is fetch away the cards on the top of his library, but I think he wants to draw that second fetch land here.
Yeah, he wants to be able to cast his Force of Will.
3 cards off the top now. Deathrite Shaman amongst them. So now Dominguez can take out the trash. He can put 2 cards on top of his library, shuffle them away with another fetch land here. And you are going to be able to get your hands on those Brainstorms in Masters 25 there. Very exciting to see that. I mean, beforehand we actually hadn't seen that Magic Online only art printed in paper, and the centered text looks fantastic as we get a brief temporal view of all of the history of this card. Mercadian Masks, of course, the classic art that so many people tend to play was reprinted with that art in the Modern Border in the Commander series.
You know, a very casual circle when I started playing. When Brainstorm came out, a friend of mine said, well, this card is going to be just as good as Ancestral Recall in a few years. Well, he wasn't so wrong.
He wasn't too bad about it. I loved this card when I saw it when I used to play my my Psychosis Crawler intro deck, because of course it did 3 damage to them in addition to drawing 3 cards. And then because it was reprinted in the Modern Border, and my understanding that Modern was all the cards with the Modern Border, I was baffled that no one was playing it in Modern. Spell Pierce deployed for Niels Gutierrez here. I think that's the Izzet versus Golgari dual decks version we just saw there. Here's an iconic Master's Thoughtseize. Not going to get one past me, Rich. Rich on the card viewer. He's doing his best. Oh, he's rolling up the sleeves. Here we go. Let's see if we can dig deep into the vaults. Get that obscure Judge Rewards program, Caracas or something. So, nice empty board for both of these players. Dominguez has drawn a little bit further ahead on cards. Raf here, who are you favoring right now?
It's hard to say. There's nothing going on. Well, there's a lot going on, but not much pressure on any side. That's why Shaman on Javier's side, he's going to make a, how do you say that? Apparition. Just to show.
Yeah.
It's going to show up.
It's going to show up, make an appearance.
Make an appearance.
Make an apparition.
And make an apparition, exactly. That's my old French vocabulary kicking in.
Yeah. No one can fault you for it,
Make
mate.
an appearance.
A lot of people have trouble speaking just one language. Never mind, you have to speak 3.
So this right shaman make an apparition.
Yes.
So no, Desert Shaman showing up.
Here it is. Little Elfo. This card, long debated about its power level in Legacy. It is almost ubiquitous. It's played in just about every Legacy deck worth its salt here. And there are some who say that it is a little too oppressive for the format. I don't know what its the future holds for this so-called one-mana Planeswalker, but there are certainly very, very vocal opponents.
They should stick around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, back to square one. So, advantage Niels because he's the one drawing the card now.
Yep, both players without too much business as the Lightning Bolt takes care of the Deathrite Shaman. And a Delver off the top here.
That's okay.
Unanswered, will run away with the game. And this is kind of what we see in these really old Eternal formats. Vintage often also characterized by players just kind of winning with whatever they can scrap together here.
This is
Javier
Delver.
Dominguez looks like he found
checklist card.
A Hymn to Turak as well. There is the From the Vaults transform version of Delver of Secrets, recently reprinted.
Oh, Javier has an Abrupt Decay in hand as well, so he has a way to deal with Delver. So he's probably going to...
And a Delver of Secrets of his own. There's that checklist card.
Yeah, he's doing it on his turn because he doesn't want to give the option to Niels to check his next card. Because if the card is a land, he has the option to fetch and not draw the land.
Kind of pseudo-scry effect, yeah.
Yeah,
so that makes good sense. Back to Dominguez now as we see the 1-1 get in. Little walking man rather than a flying man. And Gutierrez, finds a Brainstorm, and this is going to put him right back in it if he can find an answer here. Dominguez looks
is that a Brainstorm? No.
Yeah, Brainstorm, and I think it's Brainstorm double Delver.
Well, that's a lot of it's a lot of business.
That's dense. That's a dense hand, that is. He's thinking about it. I think Polluted Delver and a Lightning Bolt, the other two cards under consideration. Jeez, he's having a good old think about which ones he wants here. Tricky decision. We're going to keep double Delverino? Just really start deploying some threats.
Yeah, you don't want to. Oh, is he fetching?
Yeah. Fetch them away, deploy both Delvers. And that's it there. Well, he knows he doesn't have to worry about Fork Bolt.
Yeah, but then he doesn't know what he's drawing. Like what were the other two spells?
So you think
was it a bolt and
a bolt and a
Brainstorm, right?
No, bolt and a Polluted Delta. Or was it a Brainstorm? It was a Brainstorm.
It was a Brainstorm, right?
Yeah.
So you could have played the first Delver
and guaranteed a flip.
Guaranteed flip, then play another Delver and another flip as well. So and now he has no bolt. Am I missing something?
No, Dominguez has done something very important here, Raf. We've just seen him reveal a Hymn to Turak off the top of his library to flip the Delver, and then before his draw step, shuffle it away. And this is the exact interaction that you were talking about before.
But now he doesn't have a way to deal with the Delver. Like leaving the bolt on top was great to flip his Delver and deal with the opposing Delver. So I'm not sure about that play.
Okay. Dominguez draws.
Because now he's not sure he's even flipping his Delvers.
Just gotta hope.
It would have been great if he flipped them, but
he could only flip one. He couldn't cast both of them without fetching.
No, I know. Okay. But now that he doesn't flip, that's like but
how about a True Name Nemesis off the top?
The gamble just didn't work at all. And now he's falling behind. He needs to flip them at least to block.
So True Name Nemesis, this card.
Still no.
It's a force of will.
Flipperzinho.
No Flipperino.
Flipperino.
Nope. Rest in Pepperino, because no Flipperino. Now the Delverino comes across for 3, I should say. What am I talking about?
Is Niels on 1 or 4 now? If he's on the 1, that's...
Oh, what a ponder.
That's good.
Okay. All right. Now we're cooking with gas.
So now he...
Chuck some of that butane onto the open flame because we are getting in for 6 this turn.
Oh, no, now he's blocking. He can't attack for 6. Because he's on the 1 life.
Oh, he's only on 1. Okay, sure. So he can't gain enough life with a Deathrite to keep himself ahead.
And he... Oh, yeah.
Okay. Exile a land.
Fork Bolt.
Fork Bolt. And now get in for 6. Here we go. Here we go. Exile Wasteland, that Deathrite Shaman doing double duty here as a mana fixer. And Dominguez has to pack him up. Wow, what a dramatic game we just saw between Nils Gutierrez and Javier Dominguez. So often we see games of Legacy determined in the first couple of turns.
Took a while for the game to settle.
But if that dust can settle on the first few turns in both plays, they just have to scrap off. They're playing these little one-mana cards and eventually have to try to pull far enough ahead. And ultimately, the cards fell the way of Nils Gutierrez. That could have gone either way for a long time. But Gutierrez put up enough pressure, and Dominguez wasn't able to find the answers he needed, and so he walks away with the W in game number 1. Let's move over now and have a look at our modern table, and whoo, my goodness me. How is Christian Calcano still on 10 when he has two Bobs out? I don't know. Maybe they've been joined the party just very recently. But even De Castro has been pretty effectively stonewalled by what looks like a couple of huge Tarmogoyfs here.
So Ivan is playing what probably is the first Scavenging Ooze of the game, because there would not the graveyard would not be as big as they are if there had been another Ooze. And this might. Well, let's catch up on this game first.
Yeah, let's check out what's going on here. So double Tarmogoyf, double Bob, and a one of them presumably cast off of that Bloodbraid Elf here. Calcano takes 1 lucky flips here for the Cumin Calculator, and then another card for TI-84 here. Let's see what he can find. Even De Castro seems to be playing a Zoo list. It's not a while. It's been a while since we've seen Wild and Cattle getting it
Does he have cards in hand, Ivan? Oh, he has clues as well. That's why he didn't activate the Ooze right away. However, can't the Ooze? No, the Ooze cannot be lethal yet, even with Kissig Wolfrun. Yeah, he has 2 clues.
So there are the clues, presumably made from a Tireless Tracker would be my first guess. He's playing 2 in the main.
Is there any more card in Modern that, except for Thraben Inspector?
I guess Thraben Inspector doesn't really get played, does it?
Not in this deck.
No.
Nothing, that's it.
Not really. No Declaration in Stone, but I don't think Calcano's playing that one there. Calcano, pretty classic Jund list here. Only 1 copy of Fatal Push. He's instead leaning on those 4 Lightning Bolts. Much, much better against creatureless strategies, of course, that look to prey on those who overload on creature removal. 2 copies of Abrupt Decay and a Maelstrom Pulse as well. Much
worse against Scavenging Ooze and Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, of course.
And this is where...
So the Scooz is going to start eating up the bins here. And De Castro has got a lot of green mana to do his dirty work with here, and also can handily start to shrink those Tarmogoyfs if that's what he decides he needs to do. Although obviously he is also adversely affected by that. So another Noble Hierarch hits the bin. Hits the Exile Zone, I should say. This is going to prompt a response from Calcano.
Bolt the Ooze.
Lightning Bolt.
In response, another.
Castro's got the goods.
Did Christian draw another bolt? No.
All right. So, De Castro. Not a great play there from Calcano.
I'm not sure why he played
maybe felt priced into doing that.
Is there something else going on? There must... Oh,
he's got a
Collegate's command, that's why.
Yeah. All right, that makes a lot of sense. So 3 damage marked on this 5/5. So we're going to see 2 damage here. And...
he has no creature?
Discard a card. We could have destroyed an artifact.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, Calc!
Yeah.
Oh, no, mate. Could have blown up one of those clue tokens.
That's right.
Very, very obscure little interaction there, and unfortunately, the human calculator didn't quite put it into his equations.
That option was highlighted on the Magic Online.
Oh, yeah.
When there's no artifact, doesn't highlight.
Doesn't even let you do it.
No.
So, unfortunately there, Calcano didn't quite manage to eke full value out of that card, but still a nice sequence of play to get rid of that Scavenging Ooze. Bloodbraid Elf here, and a Tarmogoyf from De Castro. Back to Calcano now. We've got the double flips from the Dark Confident. Here we go. 1, take 3. Ugh. And 2, take 0. And 3rd card off the top. Drawing 3 cards a turn is pretty nice.
I like how you tilt your head to check the card, but you know
it doesn't help.
Doesn't help.
No, it's like when you're playing Mario Kart when you're a kid and you turn the controller to do it. Your N64 controller. Although that works now. When you play Mario Kart on the Switch, you can actually steer by turning the thing. Sister has finally been vindicated after all those long years of Relentless mockery from me and my brother.
Yeah, it doesn't work here, though.
Doesn't work here, though. No. Turning the cards doesn't do it.
What to draw? No, we
much
can't
there.
see. You still can't see.
Oh, dear. So, sacrifice a creature, says Liliana of the Vale.
Down
Castro.
goes one the cattle.
Yep, and he's down to 9 now after cracking this windswept heath. What's inside? This is just a good old, proper old-fashioned honest zoo deck here. All the way from Noble Hierarch and Wild Nicatl, all the way up to Knight of the Reliquary and Bloodbraid Elf.
Fetch for nothing.
Oh dear, failed to find.
Yep. So he just didn't remember. He had no...
Well, I wonder why he's got... Why has he got basics in his graveyard? What could have put them there?
Discard from Liliana.
Discard from Liliana. Unless,
discard from Culligan's Command.
Did he have a Knight of the Reliquary or something?
Oh, it could be. Oh, yeah, I saw one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's another Bloodbraid Elf. And it's a Knight of the Reliquary. There we go.
So, yeah, so you have the answer.
Yep.
I think next turn is lethal for Ivan here with his Wolfrun.
Yeah. Yep. Well, if Calcano doesn't die to his Dark Confidence here, let's see exactly what the price of greatness is.
So Christian needs to draw something here. Just
Let's
to
go.
Close the game here.
It's a 0. And the second flip, also a survivable hit here, just takes 1. 4 cards in hand. But no ways
Inquisition.
to...
Tilt the head a little bit.
Tilt the head over.
No, we can't see.
Likely cliffs. So, discard an Inquisition here to that Liliana of the Vale.
Scavenging Ooze. That's it's only 2, 4. Oh yeah, that's 4 green mana.
So counting it up with the Twilight Mire as well.
That's actually really good because he can take care of lands. I don't know how many lands Ivan has in his graveyard, but if it could just be enough to for Christian to survive.
Shrink that Knight of the Reliquary.
Especially if he gives him... oh, wow. Two
fetches.
2 fetches. That's
2 cards that do nothing.
No, they do.
Yeah, we'll pay 1 live, give +1/+1 to target Knight of the Reliquary.
That's pretty relevant when the Wolfrun's in play.
Yeah.
And the Scavenging Ooze on the other side.
Wow, look at this. A game of tiny edges here for both players.
Try to figure the math out here.
Magic is just the best game. Magic is just the best. Standard is the best. Modern is the best. Legacy is the best. Magic is just the best.
So Scavenging Ooze was probably the best draw Christian could have had.
Yeah. What else is there, really?
That's
a huge blocker.
That's the best.
Gains him a ton of life. Got 4 activations, so he's going to have a nice little 6/6, gain himself 4 life, you would think, or shrink down that knight if he needs to.
Actually, getting a 6/6 to block is also pretty good.
It's also good because the Kessig Wolfrun only pumps power.
Yep.
Doesn't pump toughness.
But it gives trample. So how many blockers does Christian have? 2, 4, 6 blockers. 2, 4, 6 attackers. Bob is gonna block.
Oh yeah.
Something.
And that
he
means
can give
that
plus 4 damage. So the smallest creature is a Nicatl. So it'd be a 7. So he would take 6 damage, and he can go up to 9.
Yeah.
So that's not. And he has a bolt in hand, so he can. So he can bolt the creature that's pumped.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a pretty complicated game, even from here.
Oh yeah,
especially from here.
So many moving parts.
Oh, there's also Treetop Village, not to forget.
Oh yep. Little ape can get involved in things as well.
Little ape? It's a 3/3 ape.
Well, it's very small compared to the Tamos and the Knights, isn't it?
I think he passed the turn, so that's edge Christian here.
This is going to be really important for Calc here. He has to gain a bunch of life in order to not kill himself to those bulbs. He's out of range now. Even if he flips double Bloodbraid, he's fine. Oh no, there's one.
So
dear.
Now he has to do it like before the second one.
And a Thoughtseize as well.
So he's back to 4.
Yeah, he's just taken 5 off his bulbs. The price of greatness is very, very high, as it turns out.
Can he gain enough life here? How many creatures are in the graveyard? We don't have access to that piece of information.
There's at least 2.
At least 2.
At least 2.
But he can also discard. He could be able to discard a creature and gain 1 extra life.
So, Bloodbraid Elf.
But Ivan is actually pretty close to dying here.
And it's a Thought Seize off the
Oh,
top.
that's
Calcano, that's a
great.
bad hit.
That's pretty good.
It's very bad. Don't listen to Rafael Levy, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very bad hit.
It's a good card. Come on.
It's a good card, but it's a bad hit. It's a bad flip off the BBE there.
All right.
I think you'd rather most cards in Magic.
Right.
So, Bloodbraid Elf enters the fray. DeCastro on 9. Calcano looks like he's shipping. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not in a rush anymore.
No, he just needs to sit behind this this old Scoos here and gain as much life as he can to keep himself. I mean, the Dark Confidence are keeping him just full of jet fuel here, but they are certainly
Yeah, at some point, he's just going
price.
to attack with the Dark Confidence.
Yeah.
And if they don't die, that's fine.
That's 4 more damage.
It's 2
yeah.
damage, yeah. And if they die, it's 2 life. It's
So
1 life.
why is he not attacking with them now?
Because maybe he just wants another shot at drawing cards.
Okay, all right. So 2 more creatures hit the bin.
Dude,
And
the
now it looks like-
scavenging was huge.
Looks like Calcano's going to have to start digging through his own bin, or is he just going to go after some of the lands?
Yeah, take the lands.
Okay, all right. Shrink down that
Oh,
the
depend-
reliquary.
So he's on 6.
Tarmogoyf
4.
down to 4. So if he hits,
has to do it.
He has to do it because otherwise he'll lose if he flips a Bloodbraid Elf. Oh, in response.
But he kills
Okay.
one guy
and
then
eats it. Yeah.
Then he eats it. yeah.
Okay. All right. So he bolts the Wild
Yeah.
Cattle and then eats it up. So he goes up to back up to 5. The Wild Cattle now on 7. Was he on 6 life? No. He takes another 2. All right. Second Scavenging Ooze doesn't do too much.
It's still a creature that he can discard and.
Yeah, maybe he
Can
can.
life with.
He can discard it to Liliana.
Yeah. But I think Liliana is going to kill a creature.
Yep.
That the ooze is gonna eat.
And
Oh,
it's gonna be-
except if it's a treat up village.
Oh dear. DeCastro saw the line. That's tidy stuff from him there, because of course that not only pumps up the Knight of the Reliquary, it also doesn't feed the Scavenging Ooze.
So Bolt here could gain Christian alive, which is relevant.
Yeah.
So he could just do the same thing: kill a creature and eat the creature.
This
from
has
the
just
graveyard.
been masterful. I have to say, what a joy it is to watch high-level Modern like this between 2 fantastic players. One of them an established, well-loved pro in the capital of Spain. One of my best mates sitting behind me, watching the best game in the world, played by some of the best players in the world. Life is good, ladies and gentlemen, and sometimes we lose sight of that. Here's a Tarmogoyf.
Isn't he like close to winning here? Isn't he winning on board here?
Just
I don't know.
a
I'm just counting.
He's got a lot of creatures.
He has a lot of
He's got
stuff.
a lot of creatures. So now,
I think he has to attack with Bob. Like that's the the only the only way he could
I
actually
think he heard
use
you
it.
too. Yeah. I think he's
Oh,
channeled
actually,
in.
I should speak a little
He's a little quieter.
more softly. Yeah.
No, they definitely can't hear us. They definitely can't hear us. It's just these. Your great minds think alike, Rafael Levy.
Yeah.
I don't know what your
And I
excuse
wouldn't
is.
give him advice because he's only on my team for the PT. But you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, look, I keep trying to dig you out. He's just like, no, give me that shovel. I want to go deeper. And DeCastro's just going to take it. Yeah.
yeah. I think.
Cal's going to have to run the numbers here.
Doesn't he want to kill them during his turn? Is there a creature in the graveyard anywhere?
We don't know. There's not. I don't think there's any in DeCastro's bin, and Calcano hasn't exiled anything from
Because
his
if
own
Ivan
graveyard.
draws a bolt, yeah, here we go. That's a helix, lightning helix.
All
And what
right.
I was about to say was that Christian had to kill his Dark Confidant on his turn,
Yeah, so he could eat it.
so he could eat it right away
Yeah.
to prevent his opponent to draw a bolt.
And
And
now
that's exactly what's happening.
DeCastro has found a lightning helix here, and he's
'Cause now-
shipped. So Calcano, spin the wheel, my friend. Down to 2. Inquisition of Kozilek. And off the top, it's a forest. He lives to fight another day.
Wait. Is there a creature in the graveyard?
Lightning helix, target you. Calcano needs to have 2 creatures in the bin.
So he has a bolt. We know he has a bolt. I think it took him just one turn too many
He's
to,
just
to
checked his
realize
graveyard.
he had to attack with the
And he
Dark
has to
Confidant.
pack it up. Tragic stuff there from Calcano. Because again, if he had killed one of those Dark Confidence in his own turn, he would have been able to eat it, stayed a healthier life total, and
he would still have lost.
Because
the top card was an
Inquisition. Yeah, so he would have had to kill both the Bobs, which just
but that was
get it
the
done
turn
there.
before. Like he had to get the turn before. He was so much ahead on board.
Yeah.
There was no way he would lose without them. Even
So-
Liliana
so
could have
close.
killed. He could have targeted himself with Liliana and kill his own Bob, and now he would have survived.
Oh, ridiculously tight lines there to be played by these players.
that was
here.
just a little thing.
De Castro gets to 1-0. So we are going to check in with the continued action between these players here. But in the meantime, we have an update from our back table. We have Ivan Floch, Andrej Strasky, and Thomas Hendricks, also at X2, some of the best players on the continent, are getting it done on their table. And happily for them, they have improved to 6-2 and will be making an appearance in day number 2, beating Vieira and Horvat, the GP champion, Filip Popovic and Mislav Lončar. Unfortunately for them, they are going to be playing side events tomorrow. But Hendricks, Floch, and Strasky have made it through to day number 2. Congratulations to them. Only one of these teams on your screen will do it because, of course, this is the cut here at GP Madrid. You with Riley Knight and joining me, the French Hall of Famer, Raphael Levy. And right now, Raph, it's time to head over to Standard.
So on our left side, we have Grixis mid-range
Uh-huh.
playing against what appears to be the
It's bad approach.
band approach.
Yeah.
Is it approach?
It's bad approach,
Okay.
yes. So this is a deck that looks to ramp into Approach to the Second Sun using cards like Hour of Promise, Spring to Mind, and A Gift of Paradise. So also cards like Baffling End and Thaumatic Compass, Baffling End and Cast Out being good interactive options in addition to Ixalan's Binding, and Thaumatic Compass being another way to search out some of those lands. Search for Escanter, a great value option here, and Essence Scatter as the best card in Standard, of course, with the exception of TSG, the Scarab God.
So Hour of Promise here would grant Mark with 2 zombies
2 zombos, yep.
to block the Siphoner.
Mm-hmm. Mengucci playing a deck he refers to as Grixis Control. It's very, very similar to Black-Blue Control, but it is playing Magma Sprays, Abrades, Harness Lightnings, so just some a removal with a little bit more oomph in it.
And at 5 mana, the Scarab God.
And of course, yes indeed, a card that has been running the Standard tables. We haven't seen too many decks succeed that haven't run the Scarab God. And Mark Page is here.
And says Hour of Promise number 2.
He's going to find him a couple of blockers there for that Glintsleeve Siphoner. Still got to tussle with the Scarab God, though, and unfortunately for him, Ixalan's Binding, one of the best answers for the Scarab God out of a white deck, has already been deployed. He'll be hoping to draw another copy of that card. He's got 2 left.
Blue, red God portrait on the green spell.
The Locust God, yep.
And he does have the
now has the City's Blessing.
City's Blessing.
Yes, with that Arch of Erazka hanging out there in his lands. Cards being thrown around, pens being thrown around. It's a bit of chaos down at the feature match area as Mark Pagas and Andrea Mengucci go at it. Of course, already split the first 2 games. Mengucci, though, he's a fighter. He digs deep. He loses a lot of GPs, but geez, he really gives it all he can.
Oh, he top 8s a lot of PTs.
Like, he just can't win a GP.
Doesn't care about the GPs.
No.
The PTs are all that matter.
So double block now on the Siphoner. That's going to take care of one of the zombies here.
Good way to put a creature to reanimate in the graveyard, stacking, and getting 1 energy. So next turn when the Siphoner comes back, it's going to come back as a 4/4, and he will have 2 energy.
I guess cycles away an irrigated farmland here. He's looking for that approach. He's looking for a way to keep himself in it here. He's threatening to fall dangerously behind here because of this Scarab God.
Oh, but he has
big attacks.
He has Scavenging Ground.
Uh-huh. Oh, can exile the graveyard.
That can exile the graveyard, yes.
Okay, maybe
So
we can
that
do
would be just a temporary solution.
5 mana now. Is this going to be a Fumigate? Surely not.
No, it could be a second hour of promise. I think
Okay,
it's-
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
what's
it looks
happening.
like he's got a copy of it in hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, there we go. Another hour of promise. Go and grab 2 more lands, 2 more zombies.
2 more blockers. So what do you get here?
See if he wants
So
to
you
snag himself
do you
anymore.
have you have the deserts already.
Uh-huh.
So what one-offs do you get? Probably do you get more deserts? Yeah.
Yep.
2 more deserts.
Shepherd Dunes and Hashep Oasis. Keep on sacrificing deserts to that scavenger grounds there. Keep those graveyards nice and empty because of the Scarab God. Although Mark himself doesn't have any creatures. He's playing some in the board. Carnage, Tyrant, and Regal Caracal. But no creatures to reanimate here.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Sorry. Yep.
So, Scarab God activation targeting the Glenslave Siphoner here, but we are going to see a Desert of the Mindful
And
sacrifice.
Andre's going to draw a card, I think.
Did he? Oh, he's going to draw a card from
Yeah.
the Bloodfast. Sure.
I think the other way around have been a little better. Drawing cards first,
And then attacking.
and then trying to
Oh, then
reanimate.
trying to reanimate.
Because if he wants to, if he doesn't have to reanimate here.
Mm.
He's facing 3 mana. And I think he knows Mark is not running too many counter spells.
Scarab God incoming. Chump block from Mark here.
Yeah, now Mark has access to a lot of mana.
Oh yeah.
And Andre only has the Scarab God.
Oh,
Well, that's... In that case, it matters because there's no creature. Oh, okay. Now there's something else, but...
here's a Will of Virtuoso.
Oh, Mark has...
How the Mighty have fallen. But 4 copies in the deck of Andrea Mangucci in the main as well, so he very clearly considers this a card worth running.
Yeah, actually activating end of turn was probably not the best play.
No.
Because look at... like, Mark's hand has... Mark has Excellence Binding.
Mm.
So on his turn, he's going to have to pretty much tap out to play Excellence Binding and then remove the graveyards.
Mm.
So, like, Andrea could have waited for Marks to play his Excellent Binding, activate and then. But that would have been pretty much the same. So
Mangucci draws a card now with the Argyll's Bloodfast. It looks like Ixalan's Binding is still on the stack. Does he find an answer to it? He does not. That means that the Scarab God packs his bags and moves away.
Oh, but is it 4 lands? Is it 3 lands in Mark's hand?
At least 1 more.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But he draws 2 cards off Oraska.
Yeah, he can draw from the Arch of Orazca.
So many cards in Andrea's hand.
And he's in a braid.
It's been drawing like crazy.
And things tightening up now as Javier Dominguez takes out the 3rd game against Nils Gutierrez. So it looks like Dominguez has put his team of Mangucci, Calcano, Dominguez very, very close to snagging that day 2 appearance. Mangucci only needs to win this game to get it done here.
He's looking. He's in good shape here. Holding 7 cards against a pretty empty-handed.
He's in good shape.
Good shape. Yes.
Good shape.
He's in Mengu shape.
He's in Mangucci shape. Chandra Torture Defiance continues to apply pressure here to Mark Pages, who is drawing a few too many lands. Up she goes. 2 damage to Mark here, knocked down to 3. Mangucci drawing ever closer here. Draw a card off the Arch of Orazca. Got the City's Blessing, of course.
So what does he need here? Approach.
Let's have a look.
So approach would be a start.
Yeah, be one
And
way,
not-
one way to do it.
And not get countered.
What can he find? Let's go. Big money.
2, 3. Oh, okay. Well,
Okay, all right, Gift of Paradise. Gain 2 life. All right.
Still doesn't
do a whole lot.
do much.
Nope.
Or do you just like mill yourself for 4 and hope to draw a better card next round?
I don't know, dude.
I don't
I
feel.
don't know.
If you don't feel the next card, you're like, no, this card, no.
It's
I'm
not
just gonna
good.
mill myself.
Oh, dear.
4 mana, draw 2 cards.
Oh, so we're going to see the Hash
Oh,
of
he's
Oasis
okay.
activated. Oh, to knock Chandra out.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's going to be... Oh, he doesn't have any energy.
No, he can't make a Thopter.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Padgett nearly stole that game. I mean, Mengucci only on 6.
Wow.
One more life point for Mengucci would have, if he'd drawn a single more card off Arguel's Bloodfast.
No, because he can't... it arrives untapped, right, the land, from the Bloodfast?
No. Oh, sure. No. I'm just saying if he was on 4, Padgett would have had him dead.
No, because the Bloodfast flipped.
It's a May.
Yeah, but at what time does it flip?
When you're on the 5.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he would have flipped before. It would have been untapped, and he could have sacrificed his Virtuoso to gain life.
Okay, sure. Point is, if Mengucci was on lower life...
Yes, if
that
Mengucci was
yeah.
at 0 life, it would be dead.
Yeah. Okay, that is a true statement.
That's right.
That is a true statement. So Mengucci now ships it back to Mark.
That's a lot of lands.
A lot of lands.
Oh, and the runes.
Field of Ruin.
Oh, wow.
On the Arch of
Did he
Orazca.
not want to destroy the Oasis? Oh, he's like that much ahead that he doesn't have to worry about the creature? That's probably the case.
Okay, well, he's got a lot of cards, a lot of mana, so you would think that Gucci does have the answers he needs.
Yeah, I think he does. Look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
Look at this.
Never comes up short.
This guy. In worst case scenario, he can just sacrifice his Virtuoso. And Christian Calcano loses to Ivan de Castro. And John is on the losing side many times.
Looks like it, man. It looks like
John
it.
is not a good deck. I'm telling you, John is
I
not
don't
good.
associate myself with those comments. I would like to divorce myself from the comments that my colleague just made. I'm not going to go out that far and say it, but Christian Calcano certainly couldn't get it done in this round at least.
So far, the stats are on my side.
And so now it's all down to Mengucci and Mark Padgett here, because whoever wins this game will win the match for their team. And, of course, propel them through to day number 2. So, Botanical Sanctum.
So what did I miss?
Let's not forget
So
about
we
the
missed,
Hash
we
of
missed,
Oasis.
we missed something here because now he's on 10 life.
Whoa. Okay. We're gonna get that followed up here. So, Mengucci cycles away Fetter Pools. Draws. It's like the Hash of Oasis activation maybe on the stack right now, but we're not sure why Mengucci is all of a sudden on 10 life. We're getting that confirmed right now, but we'll let you know exactly what's going on with the life totals. So an attack with the zombie gets through. Mengucci down to 5.
All right, that's
And Supreme Will here on Impulse mode.
Oh, so he was probably on 7, and now he's on 5. Is that what?
No, but there was the activation of the Hash of Oasis just now.
Oh.
He took 5.
All right. So he was on 10 then.
All right, we're getting it chased up. We'll find out. Looks like there was just an error with the life totals, and unfortunately we did have the wrong numbers there. And now they seem to have been corrected.
All right, so it's during upkeep that it flips?
I didn't think that was the
Can you have
case.
the text of this card?
I thought you had to activate it, but is that exactly how it went? All right, okay.
It
Well,
might be, yeah.
things happening at a great rate of knots here. No, it is
Beginning of your upkeep.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's if he had been on 5, he would have flipped on his turn.
All right. Here's a Conti Lord of Luxury now.
And now he's potentially on 6 life.
With the Temple of... With the Temple of... He's going to be able to gain a bit of life here. So Gonti snags a card off the top of Mark's library here. Doesn't seem to have too many cards left in it, does he? Snagged out a lot of those lands thanks to things like Hour of Promise and what have you. Drawn a lot of extra cards thanks to Arch of Orazca.
If Andrea wins with a person with Second Sons, there would be extra life, extra extra style points.
Well, he'd have to steal it twice because it would still go back into Mark's
well, you know
library.
exactly where it is.
So then you recast your Gonti at a point where you can snag it. Yeah, very good.
There's a way Mark can avoid this by milling himself with Blue Desert.
Yeah.
But still, that would still give him extra style points.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So, Pagas down to 2. Mengucci on 3. This game poised on a knife's edge. Mark has drawn a lot of extra lands.
And
An occupational hazard of playing a ramp deck.
That's the pass of someone who's, I don't know, island, no island.
Mengucci bouncing on the balls of his feet here.
On the what?
On the balls of his feet.
Okay.
It's a bit on your foot that you stand on. They're like that.
what-
You didn't know that
I
term?
don't know.
What do you call it in French? Le derrière de pied.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Perfect French. So, quick drink of water for Mengucci. Got to stay hydrated. So important. And Mark now, consulting with his teammates. This game so close.
What is that?
Mengucci ships. Looks like
What
Mark
wa-
is going to ship as well.
What was that? The land pickup? Is that how do you say that? Something tactics.
Oh, diversionary tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Back to Mengucci now. Untaps. What can he find?
I think Mark has like double negate in hand.
Yep. I saw a fair few counter spells in his hand just before. Field of Ruin.
So many cards under his hand. Is it triple negate?
It's, he's got some manner of interaction here, but here is the attack from Mengucci. And it's going to be a block on the World of Virtuoso. Gonti comes across for 2, threatening lethal, and that will be that here for Andrea Mengucci, Christian Calcano, and Javier Dominguez. Unfortunately for the team of Pagas, De Castro, and Gutierrez, holding stone cold, nothing, unable to get it done. And that, my friends, is that. Welcome back to the booth here with Riley Knight and Raphael Levy. We're going to round things out now. We've got a day of Magic in the books, and we're going to get back tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp, my friends, local time, so we can do it all over again. We're hoping to have your company throughout the weekend. It's been fantastic to explore these 3 formats today during this Team Trio series. We've learned a lot. We've learned, well, talk us through some of the things that we can take away from today, Raph.
So we've seen in Modern, John, I think, to me, John is the big loser.
Okay.
Because he hasn't won a lot of matches. Legacy, Delver of Secrets, big winner.
Still all over the place. Yep.
In Standard, the Scarab God, king of them all.
King of the Hill. That's it. That's absolutely right.
So
and we do have...
that's pretty much summary of what we've seen today.
So we've seen a lot of blue-black in Standard. We've seen a lot of Jund, which again hasn't... a lot of Blood-Braid Elf, we can say, in Standard, in Modern, including in think decks like Scapeshift, and of course Delver has ruled the hill on the other side of things in Legacy. My friends, we're going to wrap things up here so we can all go home and get some rest. But I tell you what, thank you so much for joining us throughout today. All of the action that we brought to you, it's been our pleasure from here from Team Coverage in Madrid to do so. And we are looking forward to doing it again tomorrow here from the capital of Spain. I'm hoping you're going to be able to join us for continued coverage of this Team Trios event live from Madrid. But for right now, we are going to close things out and say goodnight. We'll see you back here bright and early, 9 a.m. local time. Check your guides for details. But for now, it's Riley Knight on behalf of the coverage team saying goodnight.
Good night.